In a world where ambition is measured in dollars and influence counted in megabytes, one tiny kingdom dares to dream differently. Perched in the lap of the Himalayas, where clouds whisper ancient prayers and yaks still roam the highlands, Bhutan stands not as a relic, but as a quiet rebellion. Welcome to Bhutan, land of the thunder dragon, a country where the mountain winds carry more wisdom than stock markets, where a smile is worth more than a salary, where the roads curve like ancient proverbs and the air itself feels sacred. As of 2025, Bhutan remains one of the few countries on Earth that measures success not by GDP, but by gross national happiness, GNH, a revolutionary concept forged in the 1970s, long before the West began questioning the sustainability of growth at all costs. But this is not a fairy tale. This is a moment of reckoning. Across the globe, the landscape is burning, figuratively and literally. China tightens its belt and road grip across South Asia. India surges forward in its AI race, eyeing not just economic dominance, but cognitive supremacy. The US, under a second Trump presidency, slashes tariffs for AI companies, but escalates geopolitical tensions in Asia to contain China. The EU, post-Green Deal, is pushing carbon-neutral tourism policies, impacting Bhutan's ecotourism strategies. And in the midst of this macroeconomic maelstrom lies Bhutan. Can happiness survive a data storm? In 2025, Bhutan is no longer isolated. Starlink satellites beam internet into every remote dzong. TikTok monks now chant both mantras and memes. Children in Thimphu, once trained to herd cattle, now train neural networks. With the help of foreign investment, ironically from the same tech giants disrupting cultural landscapes globally, Bhutan's government launches Druk Tech 2025, a digital transformation plan aimed to provide universal access to high-speed internet, digitize public education using AI tutors in Dzongkha, create a national Bhutanese language model to preserve culture. But every bite comes with a burden. The algorithms don't speak compassion, they calculate efficiency. They don't bow to the Buddha, they bow to engagement. What happens when silicon replaces silence? The tension is spiritual, philosophical. GNH is rooted in 4 pillars: sustainable and equitable socio-economic development, environmental conservation, preservation of culture, good governance. But the data economy honors none of these inherently. Algorithms care little for sustainability. Online platforms erode local languages. Global content platforms blur cultural lines, and governance? Tech often bypasses it entirely. One Bhutanese elder puts it best: happiness cannot be downloaded, nor can it be coded. Bhutan is at the crossroads. The world sees it as an untouched paradise, an eco-tourist dream. But the youth of Bhutan see the world. They stream Korean pop in Phobjikha Valley. They learn to code Python in Punakha monasteries. AI is not just a tool, it's becoming a lens through which reality is shaped. In 2025, Bhutan launches its first National AI Ethics Council, co-chaired by monks and engineers, debating: should facial recognition be allowed at sacred sites? Can meditation be guided by virtual avatars? Should Bhutanese children be raised by AI-enhanced tutors or by ancestral wisdom? If your teacher has no soul, can it still guide yours? Ironically, AI also brings opportunity. Bhutan's clean energy, powered by hydroelectric dams, is used to power data centers. The country becomes a regional hub for ethical AI development. Startups in Thimphu build meditation-focused tech, merging tech with tradition. In this delicate balance, Bhutan attempts the impossible: to digitize without dehumanizing, to globalize without westernizing, to grow without greed. But others are watching. China proposes a digital Silk Road through the Bhutanese mountains. India pushes for shared 5G infrastructure. Silicon Valley firms offer billions for ethical data collection from Bhutan's populations. A new global tourism race sees Bhutan as the last authentic nation, now monetizable. Bhutan refuses the easy money. But in a world addicted to growth, such decisions look like insanity. Can a country remain sacred in a world that worships scale? In 2025, a quiet counter-revolution begins. A new Bhutanese documentary, HappyNet, goes viral, exploring the dangers of algorithmic happiness. Teenagers launch a campaign. GN hate GDP. Monasteries partner with universities to code using Buddhist logic, infusing machine learning with compassion. Even King Jigme Khesar, often called the people's king, delivers a rare address. Let the cloud enter our kingdom, but let us choose what it carries. Not all light is wisdom, not all code is clarity. And thus emerges the Bhutanese vision for the future. Not a rejection of AI, but a refinement. Not techno-utopia, not techno-dystopia, but a digital dharma. Tourists visiting in 2025 now witness a paradox. Meditation retreats use neurofeedback devices. Farmers use blockchain to track yak wool authenticity. A government-run mindfulness app gets global acclaim for reducing anxiety. But no billboard, no casino, no mass advertising, because Bhutan still bans them. What if the future doesn't belong to the biggest empire, but to the quietest soul? Bhutan 2025 is not an answer, it is a question. Can a country be both ancient and future-forward? Can happiness and machine learning coexist? Can silence survive the signal? As clouds drift above... If you believe there's more to life than likes and more to growth than graphs, share this story. Bhutan is not just a country. It's a mirror to our choices. Will we chase the algorithm or redefine it? The answer perhaps lies where the cloud meets the mountain. Imagine, if you will, a monastery at 12,000 feet, bathed in clouds, humming not only with chants of monks, but with the silent buzz of data packets being transmitted to low-orbit satellites. This is not science fiction. This is Bhutan 2025. A land once defined by yaks, prayer flags, and the timeless murmur of rivers, now caught in a paradox. How do you upload gross national happiness into the cloud? Let us explore. Since 1972, Bhutan's guiding light has not been GDP, but GNH, gross national happiness. An index of well-being shaped by 4 pillars: sustainable development, preservation of culture, good governance, environmental conservation. But in 2025, a new 5th element quietly enters: digital transformation. With tech giants from Singapore, California, and Bangalore lining up to install data centers in Thimphu and Paro, Bhutan's hills are now threaded with fiber optic veins. Villagers with prayer wheels in one hand scroll TikTok with the other. AI startups from Europe sponsor Buddhist tech fusion labs. This is the algorithmic age. Can Bhutan code happiness? Meet Karma Dorji, a 34-year-old monk from Punakha who now teaches mindful coding to teenage novices. His robes flow the same way his neural nets do: quiet, focused, reverent. AI must not replace meditation, he says. It must reflect it. His monastery hosts a weekly digital Dharma class where GPT-4 chatbots recite parables and VR headsets reconstruct the life of Guru Rinpoche. It's a spectacle. It's also a question. Is Bhutan leading a revolution in ethical AI, or softly surrendering its mysticism to the circuitry of modernity? Unlike the stormy Silicon Valley expansion of the past decades, Bhutan's tech transition is curiously serene. Google doesn't shout here, it whispers. AI is introduced through telemedicine in remote mountain clinics, through drone delivery of educational tablets, through machine learning algorithms that predict glacial floods. All helpful, all humane. But what about data sovereignty? What happens when Bhutanese citizens' data is stored in foreign clouds? Is that a spiritual theft or a necessary compromise in a globalized world? The Tarayana Foundation, Bhutan's foremost development NGO, warns, technology must not become the new religion. Bhutan's soul cannot be outsourced. Bhutan's geography makes it a digital battleground, whether it likes it or not. To the north, China's digital expansion creeps into the Himalayas via Beidou satellites and Huawei infrastructure offers. To the south, India flexes its tech ecosystem, eager to pull Bhutan closer. Underneath the silence of the clouds, a new war brews. Not of guns, not of borders, but of bandwidth, of beliefs. In 2025, Bhutan, once the world's sanctuary of gross national happiness, stands at a digital crossroads, and the battle is for its very soul. Imagine a valley where monks still chant in dzongka, but now code Python between meditations. The Sangai Cloud Monastery, Bhutan's first AI ethics center housed inside a centuries-old temple, glows with solar panels and fiber optics. By day, it's a place of prayer. By night, it trains LLMs with Buddhist datasets. Compassion meets computation. The monks call it silicon karma. We teach the machine to be kind, says Lama Texan, gazing at an AI-generated mandala projected on the monastery wall. But first, we must teach ourselves. In 2025, Bhutan launched ThunderNet, a sovereign quantum-encrypted internet grid designed to protect local identity from algorithmic colonization. No more dependence on Indian or Chinese data backbones. The mountains now bounce satellites, and villages once cut off for centuries now stream 8K documentaries on endangered blue poppies. But ThunderNet's success has drawn attention, very unwanted attention. American VC firms want in, Chinese tech giants want control, and a Silicon Valley-backed Bhutanese startup, Dzong Data Incorporated, is at the center of it all. We offer digital enlightenment, promises their slogan. But critics warn, what they offer is data mining in monks' robes. Bhutan's parliament is split. Some MPs wear robes, others suits. The votes are counted not on paper, but on blockchain. Outside the parliament, students march with signs. Our data is sacred. Our culture is not code. At the heart of the conflict stands Her Majesty, Queen Kasang Norzin Wangchuck, young, eloquent, tech-savvy, and torn. Educated at MIT, trained in Vajrayana. She dreams of a Bhutan that codes without losing compassion. In her weekly podcast, Crown and Cloud, she addresses the nation. Progress is not the enemy of peace, but we must ask, who programs the programmers? Who benefits when we upload our identities? What happens when compassion is replaced by computation? Bhutan has become a case study at Davos, a flashpoint in Geneva, a whisper in Langley. India wants Bhutan to stay aligned. China offers billion-yuan development packages. The US warns of strategic digital imbalance. Europe offers privacy tech alliances. Meanwhile, Bhutan's youth speak in a new dialect. Buddhist memes, Sanskrit tweets, TikToks on digital dharma, a revolution, gentle but seismic. The ancient dzongs, once fortresses of stone, are now mirrored in cyberspace. Bhutan is building the digital dzong, a sacred virtual space for civic dialogue, encrypted prayer, and digital citizenship. But cyber attacks have already begun. A ghost account named Iron Dragon is flooding forums with misinformation. Foreign AIs are pretending to be monks, spinning false sutras to confuse the youth. The Queen calls an emergency council. This is not just a cyber war, she declares. This is a test of whether a nation can digitize without dehumanizing. In Paro, a 16-year-old coder named Sonam Lhamo writes a prayer-inspired firewall algorithm. In Laya, a yak herder teaches his children to use solar-charged tablets while whispering folktales into an AI-powered memory vault. In Thimphu, Lama Texan smiles as he watches a robot prostrate itself before a golden Buddha. Technology, he whispers, is only dangerous when we forget our soul. As dawn breaks over the Himalayas, a new Bhutan rises. 1 foot in the cloud, 1 foot on the earth, guided not just by progress, but by purpose. Let other nations race for AI dominance, the Queen says in her closing broadcast. We will race for balance. In this digital sky, we will plant our prayer flags.